Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome back to the online learning session. I hope you all are good. Today we are going to start operations on sets. The first operation that we are going to start is union. You may also concern your book, page numbers 6 and 7 for the basic definitions and the examples. The first operation which we are going to learn is set, is union. Operation of union is defined as the union of two sets will consist of all elements in set A and set B. If we are finding the union of set A and set B, then the resultant set will consist all the elements that belongs to set A and set B. We can also use Venn diagram to represent the union of sets. In Venn diagram, we use a rectangle to represent our universal set and two circles to represent the given sets. If we have some common element in our sets, then we draw overlapping circles. If we do not have any common element in our sets, then we draw disjoint circles. To show the union of set A and set B, just shade both the circles and also the overlapped area, the area where we write all the common elements. Let us take an example. We have a set X which consists of elements 1, 2, 6 and 7, and set Y which consists of elements 1, 3, 4, 5 and 8. Now the question is, find X union Y and draw a Venn diagram to illustrate X union Y. We use this symbol, U-like symbol, to represent union. Okay. We have to find X union Y. According to the definition of union, the union of two set contains all the elements that belongs to the set. We have 1, 2, 6, 7 in set X and 1, 3, 4, 5, 8 in set Y. So the union of X and Y will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All the elements that belongs to set X and set Y will be included in the set of X union Y. Just keep in mind one thing, that we have 1 in both the sets. Set X also has 1 as the element and set Y also has 1 as element. So instead of writing 1 two times, we will just write 1 once. Because according to the basic definition of sets, no elements should be repeated. So we will write just 1 once. 1 is written only once. Venn diagram. The rectangle, it represents the universal set. Now we have two sets, set X and set Y. Here we can see that we have one element in common. So we will draw overlapping circles. The common part, this part, the area which is overlapped, we will write 1 here because 1 is the element which belongs to both the sets. And the remaining elements of set X will be written in the first circle and remaining element of set Y will be written in the second circle. To represent X union Y, we will shade both the circles. We will shade the circle which represents set X and the circle which represents set Y, also the overlapped area. Next operation we have is intersection. In intersection of two sets, we just write down the elements that are common in set A and set B. Only the elements which are common in both the sets will be written in the intersection of those sets. The same Venn diagram which we have drawn for union can be used for intersection. but the method of shading is different for union and for intersection. In union, we have shaded both the circles, but in intersection, we just shade the overlapped area, the common area, because in intersection, we just write the common element. So, we just shade the common area. Take an example. We have set P, which consists of 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. Set Q, which consists of 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 14, 16, and 18. Now we have to find the intersection of set P and set Q. This is set P. Because we are finding P intersection Q, so we will write set P first. Then intersection, the symbol which we use to represent intersection is just like a small n. Then set Q. Now we can identify the common elements. Here we have 6, here we have 6. 6 is the common element. Same 12, here we have 12. 18, here we have 18. So the intersection of set P and Q will consist of only 3 elements, that is 6, 12 and 18. Only the elements which are common in both the sets will be written in the intersection. The Venn diagram which we can use is a rectangle which represents the universal set. We will draw 2 overlapping circles because we have 3 common elements in our set. If we have common elements, then we draw overlapping circles. If we do not have any common element, then we will draw disjoint circles. Disjoint circles can be drawn like this. These are the disjoint circle. It means they do not have any common element. If we have common element in our sets, then we will draw overlapping circles. Overlapping circle means circles will be drawn like this. Okay, moving forward. Here are the steps which are involved in drawing a Venn diagram. The first step is to draw the rectangle and drawing the circles. If we have some common element in our sets, then we draw overlapping circles. If we do not have some common element, then we draw disjoint circle. That is the first step. Second step, fill the elements that are common to both the sets. Fill this part. If we have some common elements, then write them here. Third step, write down the remaining element in the respective sets. The remaining element of first set will be written in the first circle and the remaining element of second set will be written in the second circle. These 3 steps are same for making Venn diagram for every operation. The fourth step, which is different. The fourth step is shading. The shading is different for every operation. If we are representing union, then both the circles will be shaded. If we are representing intersection, then only the common part will be shaded. Okay, first 3 steps are same for making the Venn diagrams for every operation. Fourth part is different, which is shading. For union, we shade both the complete circles, and for intersection, we just shade the common area, the overlapped area. Moving forward. Next operation which we are going to learn is complement. Complement of a set is just defined as everything in the universal set but not in A. If we are finding the complement of set A, then it includes everything that belongs to the universal set except the elements which belongs to set A. It is denoted by A and this dash, which means complement, A complement. The formula which we can use to find the complement will simply be like this. If we are finding A complement, then formula will become universal set minus set A. If we are finding B complement, then the formula will become universal set minus B, and so on. The Venn diagram which we use to represent complement will be something like this. Acha, one thing, make sure that when we are finding the complement, we have just one single set. We are finding A complement, that is why we have drawn just one circle. In union and intersection, two sets are involved. So we have to draw two circles, whether they are overlapping or disjoint. But whenever finding complement, we have just one single set. If we are finding A complement or B complement, we have just one single set. So we will draw just one circle. Now the shading. According to the definition, complement involves everything which does not belongs to the set. It means we will, if we are finding A complement, then we will not color, we will not shade the set A, and everything which is written outside the circle will be shaded. Okay, now taking the example, universal set. We have a universal set which includes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And a set B which has 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we are finding B complement. According to the formula, B complement is equals to universal set minus set B. Putting the values, universal set is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minus and set B 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just cancel out the common elements. 0, 0, it will be cancelled out. 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. All the same elements will be cancelled out, and the remaining element of universal set will be written. So B complement will be like 2, 3 and 9, because we are left with only 2, 3 and 9. All the same elements will be cancelled out, and only the remaining element of universal set will be written. This is how we find B complement. We can represent this example by using a Venn diagram. This rectangle shows the universal set, and the circle inside it shows the set B. First of all, write all the elements that belongs to set B. So 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will be written in the circle, and all the remaining elements will be written out in the outer area. Okay, now the shading part comes. We know that the complement of a set includes everything other than the set. So we will leave this circle unshaded, and the outer area will be shaded. Next operation we have is difference. Difference means just subtract. If we are finding A difference B, or we can say A minus B, means difference of set A and B means all the elements of set A which are not in B. Only those elements of set A will be considered which are not in set B. Or we can say we will cancel out the elements which are common to both the sets and only write down the elements of the first set. Take an example. Set A, which includes 1, 2, 3, 4, set B, which includes 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we are finding the difference of A and B. A minus B. Set A has 1, 2, 3, 4. Set B has 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to find the difference. So cancel out the common elements. 3, 3, cancel out. 4, 4, cancel. And write down the elements which are remaining in the first set only. Make sure you will write the elements that are left in first set only. We are finding A minus B, so write set A first minus set B. Same elements will be cancelled out and only the remaining element of first set will be written. So A minus B is equals 1 comma 2. Venn diagram which we can use to represent again a rectangle which shows the universal set, two circles, overlapping circles. Why overlapping circles? Because we can see that we have 3 and 4 common. We have two common elements, so we have drawn overlapping circles. Third step, fill the common elements, so write 4 and 3 here. Third step, write down the remaining element. So 1 and 2 will be written in the first circle, 5 and 6 will be in the second circle. Fourth step, the step which is different for every operation, the shading. Okay, here we can see that we have just written the remaining element of first set. So we will just shade the first circle, leaving the common area. Okay, leave the common area and just shade the remaining elements. That is how we shade the difference of two sets. Next operation we have symmetric difference. Difference and symmetric difference are a bit similar, but there is a big difference. The formula which we use to find symmetric difference is A delta B. This is the symbol which we use to represent symmetric difference. Okay, and the formula is A union B, difference A intersection B. Symmetric difference is simply the difference of union and intersection. I repeat, symmetric difference is just the difference of union and intersection. Let us check the example. Symmetric difference of set A and set B consists of elements in set A and set B but not in their intersection. All the elements that belongs to set A and set B will be considered except those which belongs to both of them. In easy wording we can say we will just leave the common element and write down the remaining elements of both the sets. In difference, we just cancel out the common elements and write down the elements of first set. In symmetric difference, we just cancel out the common element and then write down the elements of both the sets. This is the basic difference between these two operations. It is denoted by A delta B. This is the symbol which we use to represent symmetric difference. The diagram which we use, again the three steps will be same: drawing the rectangle, drawing the circles, and filling the elements. The fourth step is different, the shading one. Okay, according to the definition, everything will be considered except the intersected area. So we will shade both the circles, leaving the intersected area unshaded. We will just shade the remaining part of both the circles. Take an example. A universal set which consists of numbers starting from 0 to 10. Set A which consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Set B which consists of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we are finding A symmetric difference B. The formula which we use to find symmetric difference is A union B, difference A intersection B. So according to formula, we have to find the difference of A union B and A intersection B. So first we will find A union B. A union B we will find first in the same way as we have done earlier. We are finding A union B, so write set A first, union, and then set B. We know that in union we just write down all the elements. We just combine all the elements, but make sure do not repeat the elements. So A union B will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we will find A intersection B. Here is A intersection B. We know that in intersection we just write down the common element. So A intersection B will be just 4 and 5. Now we have to find the difference of union and intersection. So writing A union B here, difference or minus, then intersection B. In the operation of difference, we just cancel out the common element and write down the remaining element of first set. So A delta B will be 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, and 8. This is how you find A symmetric difference B by using the formula. There is a direct method. There is also a direct method which you can use to find A delta B, and that is simple. Just cancel out the common element. We can see the common elements here. We have 4 and 5. Okay, we will just cancel out 4 and 5 from both the sets and write down the remaining element of all both the sets, and write down all of the remaining elements from both the set. So A delta B will directly be 1, 2, and 3 from the first set, 6, 7, and 8 from the second set. Here we can see that both the methods give us same answer. Either we use the formula, this one, or we find it directly, we will get the same result. Moving forward, Venn diagram. Again, the three steps of the Venn diagram are same. Drawing the rectangle, this will be a rectangle, a complete rectangle. Drawing the circles, we will draw overlapping circles, as we can see that we have common element in our set, so we will draw overlapping circles. Second step, fill the common elements, so we will write 4 and 5 here. Third step, write down the remaining elements. 1, 2, 3 is the remaining elements of set A, and 6, 7, 8 are the remaining elements of set B. Fourth step, the shading. According to the definition, symmetric difference of two sets contains all the elements of both the sets except the common element. So we will not shade this part, and the remaining part of both the circles will be shaded. Now we are going to start our exercise 1.2. Let A is equals FACE, four alphabets are given, and set B is equals EGDF, and the universal set contains A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. We have to find A complement, first part, second part B complement, third part A intersection B, and so on. Okay, let us start the first part. A intersection B. A intersection B. Now according to formula, A intersection B is equals to universal set minus set A. Universal set minus set A. Writing the sets, A complement is equals, universal set is A, B, C, D, E, F, G minus set A, F, A, C, E. Keep in mind that A complement is equals to universal set minus set A, not A minus universal set. Okay, you have to subtract or you have to find the difference of universal set and A. So universal set minus set A. So write the universal set first. First write the universal set and then write the set of which you have to find the complement. Cancel out the common element F, F, A, C, C. Elements will be cancelled out and just write the remaining element of universal set. So B, D, G. These are the remaining element of universal set. So A complement is equals to set that contains B, D, G. In the same way, you will find B complement. Okay, and part 3 A intersection B, you also have to do it yourself. We are quickly moving to part 4. Part 4 is A union B whole complement. A union B, and the complement which is written after the bracket is read as A union B whole complement. So we have to find the complement of A union B. So the formula for the complement will become universal set minus A union B. Why like this? Because we have to find the complement of A union B. Now we have to find the complement of A union B. So we will subtract A union B from the universal set. The formula will become like universal set minus A union B. We have universal set but we do not have A union B. So we will find A union B first. Find A union B. A union B, set A will be written first because we are finding A union B. So set A will be written first, then union, and then set B. According to the union operation, we just write all the elements. So A union B will be A, C, D, E, F, G. Make sure do not repeat the elements. This is A union B. Now we are going to find complement of A union B. Complement of A union B is equals to universal set minus A union B. We have found out A union B. So putting the values, putting the sets, universal set is this minus A union B, which we have found in the previous step. We will write it here. All the same elements will be cancelled out and the remaining element of universal set will be written. So A union B whole complement is equals to just element B. Okay, this is part 4. Moving forward, we have part 5. A intersection B complement. Here you can check the difference between the previous question and this question. In previous question, we have complement written like this. Complement was written outside the bracket. So it was the whole complement. It was like this universal set minus A union B in the previous question. But in this question, the question is written as A intersection B complement. The complement is only on set B. In the previous question, we have the whole complement, but in this question, we have complement only on set B. So we have to find A intersection B complement. So the first step, the first thing which we will find is B complement, because we have to find the intersection of A with B complement. So we should have B complement first. So finding B complement first. In the same way as we have done for A complement. B complement is equals universal set minus B. Universal set is A, B, C, D, E, F, G minus E, G, D, F. So B complement is A, B, C. Now we will find A intersection B complement, because now we have the set of B complement. A intersection B complement, write set A first, FACE, intersection the set of B complement, not the set of B. You have to write down the set of B complement which you have found out here. Okay, find the intersection. Intersection means just write the common elements. So here we can see set A, in both the sets we have just A and C common. So A intersection B dash is equals to set containing A and C. This is our question number 5. Next we have part 6. A complement intersection B complement. You have to find the intersection of A complement and B complement. So you have to have A complement and B complement first. So you will find A complement first in the same way as you were doing previously. Universal set minus A, write down the universal set and subtract the elements which are included in set A. You will get just B, D and G. In the same way you will find B complement, exactly same way. This is B complement. Now you have to find the intersection of A complement and B complement. A complement intersection B complement. So write down the set of A intersection first, A complement, the set of A complement first, then intersection and the set of B complement, and then just write down the common elements. So A complement intersection B complement is equals just B. Part 7. Moving on to part 7, we have universal set, union, null set. This symbol we use for null set or empty set, the set which does not contain any element. So we are finding the union of universal set and the empty set. Universal set is this. We are finding the union with an empty set. This set does not contain any element. We know that in union we just write down the elements of both the sets. So the answer will have only A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, because the second set is empty. No? So we will just write the elements of universal set. In the same way you will do part 8. Okay, that's it for today. We have done part 1, 4, 5, 6 and 7, and you have to do part 2, 3 and 8 yourself in your notebooks. That's it. Jazakallah.